Welcome everybody to 90 Day Fiancé Fridays on a Sunday so we could discuss this exciting season 11 episode, Sarcasm Sandwich.
Very, very exciting, guys. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting. I had to go clean toilets.
It's so exciting. I'm back on the show.
It was very bidet-ish. It's as exciting as cleaning your ass.
Yeah, but
well, that can be exciting.
But Dave's bougie though.
George, it all depends on who's doing the cleaning.
I mean, yeah, that's true too. I didn't think of that. That's true.
bidet-ish / bodacious.
Well, this episode was very interesting, and I have some cool tweets. Like, this wasn't a Tom Cruise show, guys. You know, it wasn't a Tom Cruise show. It is what it is. We didn't get the drama that we deserved. We also didn't get the throuple tonight. We didn't get Juan, Megan, and Jessica tonight, which was unfortunate. We did get the fake throuple, which seemed torturous tonight. Like, I was like, at this point, y'all are just torturing me. I was like, at this point, can we just not even invite them to the tell-all? Like, I'm over them already.
By the way, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I just remembered, and I hate to crowbar it in. Megan, I heard, is like a mental health therapist as well.
Wait, her and Jessica are both mental health counselors?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, so people were like, "Oh my God, she's a therapist too!" Like, and yet she's like the Karen on the show.
Well, I think therapists are like natural born Karens, though, right? Like, I feel like you have to be if you're a therapist. Or am I?
You have to be lecturous.
Yeah, you have to like call people out and tell people what they're doing wrong. I feel like that's the definition of a Karen.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, yeah, you kind of have to have Karen tendencies to be any type of therapist. And you know what they say, if you have a therapist, that person is crazy. They're telling you what to do, but their life is in shambles. It's usually that's what's going on.
Well, you know, therapists are assigned therapists, so.
Yes, exactly. Your therapist has a therapist, and their problems are usually worse than your problems, but they're telling you that, you know, they know exactly how you need to move in your life in the direction to fix things when their life is usually insanity.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them got into that field of study so they could figure out their own problems. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I agree. I studied psychology, and you know, I'm crazy, so it is what it is.
So, who do you want to talk about first?
Oh,
we get a choice.
Yeah, we get to choose. Who should?
Oh my God.
Where should we go?
I'm gonna go through my live tweets. Should we talk about the Shekinah sisters again?
Oh God, you know that's gonna be a new reality show, right? You just gave
Shabooty,
you just gave TLC the new name and everything. Thank you. The Shekinah sisters.
The Montana tatted sisters.
There was one tweet that I liked where it said Sarper is getting interviewed by The Walking Dead, and they did look like a cast from The Walking Dead.
They did. And well, I guess this is a good direction to go for tonight, because I wanted to talk about the Sarper and Shekinah, because they did one of those, the words pop up on the screen, right? And you know, that doesn't happen frequently, because remember that happened a few times on the show where this happened, but it actually happened with Sarper and Shekinah last season. Is it popped on screen? They're like, Sarper and Shekinah got into an argument. He ripped her phone out of her hand and ripped her hair out of her head. And then tonight we got Sarper and Shekinah got into an argument, and now they're not speaking anymore. And so, what do you guys think? Do you think that this was legit? Because Shekinah conveniently had audio of the fight. And okay, so I don't want to sound any type of way, but I feel like if you get into a fight and the person that you're with pulls their phone out to start recording you, what do you think that means? Does that mean that they're afraid of you? Does that mean that they think you're dangerous? Because, you know, back before cell phones, that wasn't a thing. But like, I noticed a lot of times, like Sophie, when her and Rob would get into a fight, she would pull out her phone and start recording him. And it's like, what does that mean specifically? Especially when I ask Coco and the girls, like, if you feel the need to pull out your phone to start recording someone during an argument, does that mean that you're fearful for your life?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never been in that situation, but that's what I would do.
Yeah.
So no, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm not saying this is the case in this Sarper Shekinah situation, but it makes me think of like the Shannon Sharp thing where she recorded like their phone calls so then she could like get money out of them.
Right, right. So there's always a motive behind recording phone calls or screenshotting text messages and DMs. It just was really weird that she recorded that fight, because usually when you record a fight, you're gathering, in my opinion, I'm not professional, but in my opinion, you're gathering evidence against someone, right? Like you
Mhm.
want to make sure that they don't gaslight you later and try to say that this never happened. So the fact that she pulled the footage out and then turned it over to TLC, I was like, well,
Mhm.
do they really like love each other? Do they really want to build something together? Because if I'm not saying that she should protect him either, but I don't know, the whole vibe of it was just really weird, because Rob and Sophie did it too, and we've seen it a lot of times where the person is like, I have proof and I recorded you and I have videos, and they use it against each other later. So
Sure.
do you think that that's the direction we're going with Sarper and Shekinah? Do you think that she's eventually gonna get sick of him and she's gonna start releasing videos and stuff that she has from earlier dates of when they were fighting or something?
I think they're both such big like fame whores. Any kind of argument or speed bump is like a drop in the bucket for how much they will, how much fame hungry they are. They'll overlook any kind of argument ultimately.
Yeah,
Really?
I agree with you on that. I mean, I just think, but also, I mean, I don't know, guys. I think that
They're plastic, basically. So it's
I mean, sure, yeah, of course. But if she was like serious, I mean, I just know from experience of like, if you're gonna record someone during a fight, it's because they've done it so many times. I mean, you remember when he pulled her extensions?
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, why? What? This isn't the first time. Remember, the first time we saw him, he slapped like food out of her hand,
Yeah. The lollipop in the
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 gym.
lollipop
lollipop
Yes.
at the gym.
at
So
the
like,
gym.
yeah. So like, if someone like that and you has been like that for years, like, I don't care if she's dramatic. I don't care if she cusses him. No one should lay their hands on anybody. So I think honestly, like, just given that, I think, like, yeah, there's been some domestic issues obviously in that relationship, and it's to the point where they're recording, but I also think she puts up with it because she gets more airtime.
Yeah, this
Oh.
spices up their storyline, and I don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is not excusing him, and I think like now TLC is trying to paint him as the funny, like easygoing guy. And it's like that's not who he is, though. You've seen his behavior
Yeah.
towards women. That's just because like he's smiling this fucking season doesn't mean shut.
See, I always felt like, because I was like, oh, I don't like the way that he talked to her sister. Remember when her sister went to Turkey and
Yeah.
they were talking and asking him questions, and he was like, shut up, Shekinah. He's like, you effing bitch, you whore. Like, he was just, the way that he spoke to her was just really
Yeah, and
terrifying.
he's doing this on fucking camera. What the fuck do you think happens
Yeah.
when they're not on camera? That's like the scary part.
That's what was crazy to me. So the fact that they were like, oh, he's just such a little teddy bear and everyone
That's
loves him. And
bullshit. He's not. You know what they're doing it this season because they probably had a lot of backlash and they're trying to like whatever. And I think knowing him, like if you've been with someone who is like that, whether it's verbally abusive or domestically abusive, physically, um, like you're gonna be recording because you need to have the evidence for that.
well, yeah, that's how I felt too. Because I was like, the fact that
Yeah,
because she could have easily told producers, we got into a fight, we're not talking. But the fact that she was able to produce audio of it. Oh,
absolutely.
now I remember. It was Muhammad and Eve. Muhammad was recording Eve during an argument, and then
Yeah.
they had that audio, and we got to listen to that audio. Y'all remember that? So yeah, this
Yep.
happens, and I feel like when you have to reach for your phone and you pull out your phone, this is, like you said, this is a pattern of behavior, and you're worried about what this person might be capable of. And but what's even more scary, Coco, is what you said, is you think that she, and I agree, she might tolerate his behavior because she likes fame.
Or also she's had shit choice in men.
Well, this is true. You're
So
100%
like
right.
her either like her self-esteem is so low where she's like, well, I'm just gonna take it. Like, well, he's never like, well, I can't say he pulled her fucking extensions out. I can't say he's never fucking physically attacked her. To me, that's a physical attack. But what I'm saying is like she's probably just making excuses like, you know what? It's the stress of the filming. it's the stress of, so and so, whatever it is that she's gonna say, to justify his, behavior because she's getting an extra season on TLC.
Yeah.
That's just honestly my opinion, and I stick by it. And I hope it's not true. I really do.
I
But
I believe it. I feel the same way. And I think everybody, well, he said some stuff too tonight that was like questionable because he was like, I liked it when she was more obedient. And he said something else too. Um what else
I,
did he
He
no,
called her a geisha.
A geisha. That's what it was. He's like, I like it when she serves me and she's obedient.
go
And
fucking to Dubai then and find someone else.
I mean, it's weird to me because he made it seem like he's like, oh, I've been to 2,500 women, and he said earlier on another season, he's like, well, I don't really like women. So I treat them that way because when I was younger and I was fat, they were really nasty to me.
Like,
So
boo
he was like,
fucking who?
so yeah, he's like, well, now I don't really respect them because they didn't respect me. And I was like, so what do these women now today have to do with the women that met you when you were younger and may have treated you different? Like, you can't put all women into one category and say that they were hurtful to you. Some women never even knew you existed. So it's like, and then when he
That's
started to get
insane.
really nervous about her meeting his exes, that was a red flag for me too, because I was like, you don't want her to talk to the women that you've interacted with for a reason, right? Because he
Mm-hmm.
got really weird. He's like, I don't want you talking to any of these women. I was like, why? Are you afraid that they're going to tell you the way that you treated them and they might scare her away? But at the same time, she kind of knows that he doesn't treat women well, and she's made it very clear that she wants to marry him and she wants to be with him. So at the
Oh, it's
same
just fucking insane. I'm sorry, but I honestly don't think she gives a shit about her kid. I'm not gonna say she doesn't give a shit about her kid. I'm not gonna say that because, like, obviously, I just don't think, how some women just like aren't cut to be moms.
Well, yeah, I think that she cares about Sophie, but she also is more, and Sophie said it too. Sophie was like, she's always been more focused on the men in her life. That's been her priority. Whoever she's dating, that gets all her attention. I think she does love her daughter, but I think that at the end of the day, she's one of those women that can't be alone. You know how some women only can
Yep.
feel,
Mhm.
what's the word? They're only fulfilled if they have a man. Like, for some reason, they can't just be single. They have to have a man. And I think that it takes precedent over Sophie. But it could be something that, because she was raised around Amish people and in the country. It could be something that she experienced in a cult or something in life, and it has altered the way that she thinks. But she clearly can take care of herself because Sarper ain't got no money. So I don't know why exactly she has to have a man attached to her. She's got her own business. She's living in LA, which is super expensive. She can do it on her own if she wanted to. She just doesn't want to be alone.
I
It's
feel
just like I
like
just don't understand it.
I still feel like, again, I know we've had this conversation in the past, but the excitement of being on television is kind of like a
Hi.
insulator of like real like tumult. So like the excitement of being on television kind of insulates a real, to me, that's like a television fight. The fact that they're still in the middle of the excitement of being on TV, like there's just a nothing, to me, it's a nothing burger. It's just good for TV.
Oh, so do you think that Sarper talks to her crazy, or do you think all of this is like part of their storyline? Do you think that her and Sarper sit at home and they come up with stuff to do on the show, and you think that it's not realistic to what is happening in their household,
I
or
think
do
to
you?
me, it's like, I see it as like knowing that Shekinah recorded it. I think it was like, all right, I hit record, time to turn on WWE action. So let's get this argument.
I mean, that could be too, because this isn't Shekinah's first time on a TV show, on a reality show. We know that this is something she's always wanted to do. And, it could be her and Sarper maybe came up with something like a fight argument or whatever, because they showed his blankets on the couch and they showed like she's like, we're not talking, we're not speaking. We don't know that, right? Like, we don't know. The cameras aren't always there. They could have
Like,
had dinner together that same night. We don't know that that's
sleeping, to me, like sleeping on the couch means you're still like on half decent terms. If it's a real fight, you ain't even gonna fucking be in the house. You're gonna go to a hotel or something.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
If
a
yeah.
Motel 6.
Yeah. Like he'll call, at that point he'll look up on Instagram and find a 90-day groupie, sleep on their couch.
Uh-oh.
See, that would be drama that I would want to see. That's what I would want to see.
Yeah.
Maybe no, because then he's gonna come to Vegas and sleep with Lauren's couch.
Oh,
Oh
would you?
wait, Loren doesn't have a couch. Never mind.
Yeah,
I
Lauren
was going
doesn't
to
even have a house.
say he has
I'm
it back in
sorry.
the
I'm
truck.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's been a week. I
I
forgot.
heard some
He's like a
Lauren news, but should I
homosexual.
save it for Friday?
What?
I heard from Lauren, but should I save it for Friday?
Oh.
Oh, you've heard from him? I mean, let's
Does
see.
he want you to hang out with him? Shabooty,
No,
he's gonna come over and he's gonna sleep on your couch, isn't he?
no.
He was like, no, that's
You're
definitely.
like,
No.
no.
Well,
Hard pass.
let's see how the show goes. I don't know if because again, it wasn't like the most interesting show. So if we have time, maybe we can get into the Lauren stuff.
Sure,
There
why
hasn't
not?
been anything interesting about this season at all.
No, no, not really. And the throuple is really letting me down. Like
Oh
I'm
my god, they're
really
like the fucking worst. I'm like, Jesus Christ, do something.
every episode is them saying like, I don't really know if this is working, and I don't
Why are
really.
you crying?
It's just so
Oh my
repetitive
god.
and stupid. It's almost like because
Dude, I
at
think
this
they were
point,
hired actors. I'm just letting you know.
well, at
They
this
are. They're on that old Netflix show.
I don't even understand what we're even watching, right? And we haven't gotten
Right.
to the scenes where they start calling Annie Brenda or whatever. We haven't even gotten there yet.
Mhm.
Like they're still like, I don't want to be the third wheel in my relationship, and then each of
Yeah.
them thought they were the third.
And the whole and I yeah, we're all rehashing, but like, and then I hate the whole, the like the whole idea, like, oh my God, I'm considering divorcing you to get her to the United States. Like that's like the biggest load of horse shit.
Yeah, it was never gonna get to that point, which I think is insane that they even said that. Like this whole storyline has been released. Also, when Matt was washing his hands right before he did the FaceTime call, did y'all see the massive weave next to the sink? Did
Mm.
anybody catch that?
No.
He
I
was
No.
saw one
washing
on
his.
Twitter, but I wasn't sure what scene it was from.
It was from Matt. Okay, so Matt was washing his hands right before he called his friend, the one that he said was in a polyamorous relationship before, and there
Mhm.
was like this 20 feet long weave just sitting on the sink next to the. And I was like, wait, whose weave is that? Is that?
What? I did not see that.
Oh man, I wish I should have. I
All
should have
right, I'm gonna
screenshot.
have to rewind.
Yeah, and I was like, well, which girl's weave is it? Because they both have long hair, so I was like, I don't know which girl's weave it is now.
Yeah, but no, yeah, that storyline, they should have like, I know they put all the money into filming them, but like they should have fucking cut them out the show or something.
Yeah, this should have been a scrap, or they could have used it for a Love in Paradise season, but I don't think they're filming Love in Paradise anymore because this is definitely not a 90 Day Fiancé story. Like, it's so boring. There's no puzzle pieces to the story. It's like, it's shallow. And it's at this point, I'm like, they can just not even invite them to the tell. I don't even want to hear what happened. I just don't care. Like, I'm so checked out. I
Yeah.
get like angry when they come on. And why is that? Why am
It's,
I upset?
you know what's weird too is like you think if it's a throuple, so there's three people, so you have like three opportunities of having like an interesting person, but like, does anyone care about Matt blabbing on? Does anyone care about Amani blabbing on? Does anyone care about Annie, Hanny, or Brenda, whatever the fuck her name is, blabbing on? Like, if any of them are talking in front of that camera, do you actually care what they have to say?
No,
No,
not
like
at
I said, I went
all.
to clean the washrooms.
Yeah.
What's funny is what bothers me. I know this is gonna sound really petty, but Matt keeps calling Amani a mini,
Hmm.
and it bothers the fuck out of me. Cause I was like, it's not a mini, it's Amani. It's Amani. I can spell, I can read. How do you not know how to say your own wife's name unless she's a hired actor?
Well, okay, in his defense, I guess she does go by like both names or some shit.
Well, you can't. You got to pick one. You can't just pick how your name is pronounced and then also pick a different way. It's either Amani or a Mini. You got to pick one. You can't just call people whatever the hell you want to call people. And I know that that's not even important. That's how annoying they are. Because I was like, can you just pick a name and stick with it? Because in the beginning of the season, he called her Amani. Now in the middle of the season, he's calling her a Mini. I was like, you got to pick a damn name and stick to it.
Yeah, well, Amani,
Damn, George, tell us how you really fucking feel.
It just irritates
Jesus
me.
Christ.
like
It just makes me so mad.
Amani went on Instagram and
Woo!
she was like, I went on TikTok and the people on TikTok are way nicer than the people are on Instagram. Maybe I should be on TikTok more than Instagram.
Go on then.
I mean, go on. We don't want you on
Go
it.
on.
Go
Well,
on. I mean, whatever.
she was bribing people for fans, so by all
That's why
means,
she keeps
bye.
giving away money on Instagram, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
she said, well, no, she says she's giving away money on Instagram. I don't know nobody who want no money. Do
No,
you?
except it's not even gonna be money. It's gonna be like fucking rubles,
It's
pesos.
it's that one contest that people do. It'll be like, follow me, follow everyone that I'm following, and then you'll get like a Louis Vuitton bag and $25,000. You've seen those, right? They're
Yes.
not.
Yeah, it's all
They're
bullshit.
not
Those
real.
pyramid schemes.
Yes. It's one of those fake things that no one actually wins anything. I've seen actually some of the other 90 Day cast members have participated in them before. I think Yara's done it before. They're not actual actually I think Kim did it once. They're not actual contests. I don't want to, well, you know what? I don't want to say that now. But I'm pretty sure nobody's actually winning. I'm just gonna say.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, yeah. I don't want to say that now. I don't want to throw nobody underneath no bus. I don't
And
want
if
that.
someone does win, it's probably someone that they're close to, and then like, or whoever's sponsoring it, so that they don't have to give them a payout on it.
Yeah.
Well,
It
sure.
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
True. All right, let me go through my tweets. Oh, and then like this, I think we might have talked about this last time, but the one of the Shekinah sisters like blocked me on Instagram.
Yeah, but she like instant.
What did you do, Shabooty?
No, Shabooty didn't.
No.
No, Coco, for real. Shabooty didn't do nothing.
No,
Yeah,
I
For
know.
real.
I'm
my
fucking with you.
reputation preceded myself or something.
He literally followed her, and within like 5 minutes, she blocked him for
Yeah, because
no
Jasmine probably
reason.
called her I think she stalked Shabooty in like a secret account. So anytime he follows someone, she's gonna like text them right away.
or
That actually sounds accurate because
I
Jasmine,
know, isn't that like?
she does spend most of her life telling people to not like Shabooty. So that
You
is
know why?
actually,
You know why she's secretly in love with Shabooty?
she is. I think she is. I think
I
she
think
wants.
I think she totally is. That's why. She saw the picture of you and Liz, and she's like, "No, I want that." Um,
what are the chances that I popped up in one of Jasmine's dreams?
That's probably pretty high because you
you
live.
know what? You're the reason she probably got the BBL because she wanted to be more Shabooty.
Yeah, you live
Like
rent free in her
George,
head.
like George said last week, you live rent free in her head.
Yeah.
I'm,
You
I'm
do.
I'm pretty sure that episode where George said that was a tell all episode, right?
Yes, yeah, that was a
Yeah,
tell-all episode.
that episode. I'm pretty sure. Like when I say I'm pretty sure, meaning like 99.999, meaning I had the text conversation. But Gino listened to that episode and he found it very hilarious.
Oh my God, did he really?
Really?
Yeah.
So
Uh-oh.
it's accurate. I mean, I don't need any verification though. I know that you live rent free in her head because when you make posts
Yeah.
about her, she
Yeah.
responds within 12 hours.
Yeah, like I haven't seen many photos of her refrigerator lately.
I know. Like when you are the one person that gets to her. You
I
know,
I
That
think
gets
yeah,
under her
I
skin.
absolutely
yes.
believe that because I think you are just like yeah, absolutely.
True. But
That's fucking
it's
hilarious.
just for the record. I mean, people all like it, if I let me just say this: if I really despise someone, I don't post about them. So the fact that I post about her, you could read between the lines a little bit.
Well, yeah, that's my
Sure.
thing. If I don't like you, you no longer exist in my world. Like you don't exist. Like we don't live on the same wavelength. So
Mhm.
I know that because and you know what's funny? I've told you this earlier on. I was like, I don't think you hate her and she hates you. I think that it's not that deep. I think that it's more so that y'all don't see eye to eye. Because I was like, I don't feel like she hates you because she spends too much time worried about what you do. And I was like, and I know you don't hate her because you still post about her.
Like I definitely hate some of her, let's just say online friends more than I dislike her.
Well, yeah, she hangs out with some pretty shitty human beings, right? Like that's one thing, but I don't think that she dislikes you and I don't think you dislike her. I think this is all one big misunderstanding. Right? Like I kind of feel like in a different world, y'all would get along pretty well. Like isn't that weird? I feel like y'all would actually get along really well if y'all had like a different, Back to the Future, you just go back and re-meet somebody. I feel like y'all would get along well.
Yeah, we probably would because she couldn't objectively say I'm like not funny or not talented or something.
No, she says
No.
it too, but she knows deep down it's not true. Like she wants to make you move out of the condo that you've built in her mind. And she doesn't know how to process the eviction because every night there you are. And I think that bothers her. Like she wants to hate you, but she also likes you. And I think that's what's killing her inside.
Well, if/when the whole Matt thing collapses like a house of cards, and then if I post like an anti-Matt meme, I'm sure she'll love that.
Wait, so I mean, I'm pretty sure the Matt thing has already fallen apart. I
Yeah.
I know that we were talking about this before, and we were like, "Oh no, she's just saying that they're not together." I kind of feel like they might actually not be together anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm leaning in that direction because at first I was like, "Oh no, Jasmine. She posts everything she posts is the opposite." So if she posts that they're not together, they just got married. If she posts that she's not pregnant, she's 9 months pregnant. Like whatever she does is the opposite. But I'm leaning towards her and Matt aren't actually together anymore. I mean, I'm leaning in that direction.
Yeah, I think he's just at this point.
I mean, remember the posts we saw when she was talking about like, oh, I'm gonna do me for a while, and like,
Yeah.
like they're friends, but
Yeah, and then there's another one we read last Friday, which is in the same vein. So yeah. Anyway, but we just ended up on Jasmine, who's not on tonight's show.
Yeah, she's living rent free in our head
sorry.
right now. Actually, Jasmine, you better move out. Eviction notice served.
True.
Goodbye.
What?
Goodbye.
So what do
I'm
you think of
sad.
Sean?
That
What do you think of Sean
I
and Aaliyah?
Oh yeah. So Shauna and Aaliyah, we met Sean's kids, and I just gotta say, guys, this is not what I expected when I met Sean's kids tonight on the show.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting some like plastic LA people. I don't know why. I don't know. I just thought I was gonna
Mm.
get like a plastic, um like a Shekinah type girl.
Well, they probably weren't raised in LA.
I can tell. I
Yeah.
can
Like,
definitely
how would you describe the children?
The daughter reminded me of Ella from 90 Day Fiancé. Do you know who Ella
Oh
is?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
young
I
love.
see it.
Yeah, she reminded me of Ella from Ella and Johnny. And the son, I mean, the son didn't really remind me of anyone from the show, but he didn't, I don't know, he was very kind, and I assumed his kids were gonna be standoffish, judgmental, and entitled. And I
Hmm.
don't feel like his kids behaved in that way in any way whatsoever. They
What
were they were kind.
didn't the daughter say like, "What's your pronoun? What's your
Yeah,
pronoun?"
she was like, "What are your
Yeah,
preferred pronouns?" And then the
I
she was
son
love
was.
that.
respectful.
I was okay. So I've been saying all along. I was like, "Oh, his kids are gonna be pissed. This is somebody going after their inheritance. He's gonna marry this woman. She's more than half his age. They're gonna be so angry." And this was not what I was expecting at all.
I love that.
So yeah, I misjudged these beautiful human beings, and I'm thinking that they're gonna be mean and hateful, and they were the complete freaking opposite. They were respectful, kind. They were welcoming. She asked what her pronouns were. She was like, "I'm so happy to meet you." Like I was so wrong about everything because I was like, man, you would think this girl is like younger than them and she's about to marry their dad, and their dad, has pretty decent money. They would be bothered by that, and it wasn't even like that at all. So
You were just thinking that they're going to be another Jordan.
yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking that we were gonna experience Jordan
Mhm.
and a standoff between them, but it wasn't even like that. And it was very, even when he said that they were getting married in a month, like nothing, no aggression, no intolerance. It was just, and everybody, for the most part, was pretty welcome. And some of his friends had reservations, obviously. But yeah, this meeting, I thought she was gonna be walking into a massacre. I thought Aaliyah was gonna get destroyed. I was like, these people are gonna destroy her because they didn't know about it, and they're gonna be, sneak attacked with this. Oh, meet her. We're also getting married, blah blah. But it wasn't like that at all.
Mhm. Yeah, and then I thought it was funny that his friend's name was Alfred, and I was like, "Damn, that's a boomer ass name."
Yeah, I was like, is it his day off from the Bat Cave? I was like, what? I
Mm.
mean, but Sean is 63. I think a lot of people forget that he's 63 because he looks really young.
He also
And
acts
Aaliyah,
young, which I love. Like he has that young spirit.
well, yeah, he doesn't act his age, and he's with a 25-year-old, and his
So
mom
what?
his mom is like what in her
Yeah,
80s?
right up Coco's alley.
I'm sorry, but you know what? So what? Live and let live, my friend. I mean,
YOLO.
live and let live.
YOLO.
By the way, there was a photo on Reddit the other day of them, of Sean and Aaliyah, like at a West Hollywood grocery store together. So it seems like they're still together.
Oh, where? What was it called?
I don't know which grocery store, but
How dare you, Shabooty? You're supposed to know all of this. How
Yeah, you're
dare
supposed to
you?
have
I
the
can, I'll post.
tea.
I'll text you the image, and you tell me if you.
Okay, then I'll
Yeah,
tell you exactly where it is because I used to live
yeah,
in WeHo.
she'll know where it is. But yeah, I think that if they are still together, that's also gonna be me having to bite my tongue and saying I was wrong because I didn't think that this would work out. I
Mhm.
feel like there's no way in hell that this relationship is compatible.
Oh, George, you must be in so much pain right now
Why?
because you're admitting that you were wrong.
It does burn. It stings. It
Yeah,
does.
I
It
know, darling,
stings.
I know.
I make assumptions and sometimes they're right. I mean, usually they're right. So when my assumptions are
Sure.
wrong, it hurts internally because I'm like, damn, I got that so wrong.
I
To our live Patreon listeners, you could look it up in the member chat right now, and I texted the photo to the group chat to our
It
group chat.
looks like it's something that
let's
starts with
take
a
a
D.
look.
Say that again, Gina.
All right, hold
It looks
on.
like it's something that starts with a D,
D
like the store.
nuts. Oh, sorry.
Just because of the shopping bags
Okay,
underneath,
hold
it says
on.
something.
It's pavilions.
It's
What?
what?
It's a fucking pavilions.
Oh,
Wait,
true.
is that's a grocery store there? I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, pavilions. You might note it as oh my god. Fedco?
What?
George.
No, I don't know that one.
Fedco,
How spell that?
so it's pavilions. It's just like it's basically like kind of like a little
Oh,
bit
Kroger's. I know what it is. Okay,
Kroger,
yeah,
yeah.
I know what it is. We got them. Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
it's
I
like
know.
a Ralph's.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're
I
talking
mean, you
about.
can see it. The only reason I say because I know exactly where this was taken, by the way.
You've
Do you
been
Because
know
to
the
that one?
location?
well, just because like if it's the pavilions in WeHo, there's only one.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, you can see what they're buying. Hold on a second.
I know. I was like, oh, what kind of
What is that? Toilet paper? That's toilet paper and napkins. It looks like two things of toilet paper and then a thing of
Must have had a
Yeah.
spill.
yeah, they're cleaning up some sort of spill. I wonder what's going on up there.
a bunch of semen is what's going on.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
This is what happens when you don't have me on for like 2 weeks. I have to get all my dirty jokes. I started telling dirty jokes at work today. I almost got fired for that, pretty sure. So, okay. Like someone was like, oh, I'm not going to give him a tip. And I was like, well, I guess he'll get some kind of tip at the end of the night. And they were like, what? And I was like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, you can't say that at work. People
I
are so
know. HR,
rude.
hello.
That department HR, they're always telling people to stop having fun at work.
Mhm.
Always. They're like the
Actually, I'm not
coolest.
joking because I'm not telling you guys where I work except George knows. So don't tell anybody. But we actually don't know where our HR is located.
Maybe
What
in
do you
the
mean?
Philippines or
You
somewhere
know what? It
else
could be
or
in the
India.
Philippines.
Wait, do you not have like an on-site HR person?
No, that's why I'm like laughing. I was like, that's the kind of running joke at our job. Sort of, it's like HR.
Mhm.
That's
Anyways,
crazy.
I
I
know.
knew
You
I like
submit a ticket and then you'll get a response within 72 hours.
True.
that is not how HR is supposed to work, but okay.
Yeah, I know, right? It's fucking weird.
So, do you want to talk about Greg or do you want to talk about Maddie?
Uh,
Ooh.
I mean, we can start with the Mahdi thingy because Greg, I have a lot to go on with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the Mahdi situation. Okay, so let me think about what I want to say. Y'all can go ahead. I want to think about what I want to say.
Oh, you about Maddie?
Yeah, because he said something tonight
Well,
that I
so
didn't.
he got all upset because I guess she admitted to drawing a chick, in person, like, a nude painting of a woman in person, and he got all.
Oh no, how dare she?
Yes.
And
So
now,
Fuck out of here.
here's my issue. So he tried pork for the first time, right? Which is completely against his religion. You can't do it in
Mhm.
Iran. That's like wrong. You can never do that. That was fine though, because he felt like doing it. but she is not allowed to like take pictures or paint women if their shirts are off or whatever, because he's like, in Iran, you know, women can't be gay or bisexual. That's just an abomination or whatever. And I was like, but why do you get to pick and choose what's okay and what's not? Because I was like, you eating pork is also wrong. But since you felt like it, it's fine. But her drawing other women, because he's like, being LGBTQ is just wrong. He's like, and not just in my culture, but in my mind and in my opinion. And I was like, so it's wrong. If that's your opinion, that's fine. But it's like, at the same time, she's not a part of your religion. She's not a part of your culture.
Exactly.
And, you know, you get to experiment, right? Because I'm not saying that him eating a piece of pork is the same as him sucking some dude's dick. But I was like, you get to experiment, but she can't.
Yeah. Well, hello. He doesn't believe in double standards.
Yeah, and also it was like it was like old news too. It's not like she just did it like 5 hours ago.
Well, yeah, this was old. They didn't really specify when the painting took place, and also he made it seem like it mattered whether they send her a picture or it happens in person. Is there a difference if you're getting drawn off of a photo? Like, because you know, if you go to the fair, they'll do like a caricature and they do it right.
Well, okay, well I don't know. Like if you had a girlfriend, obviously it would be. I don't know. If you had a girlfriend and she was drawing a nude male model I mean, for in person versus a photo. I mean, in person it is a little different when the dong is in her.
But she's not fucking him.
I know.
She's not fucking him. I mean, listen,
Hello.
my best friend is a guy. We were roommates for like 6 years. You know, we see each other naked, never slept together, you know, and I've always been like, you know what? If like my partner can't get along with my best friend, like I can't, that's one thing I can't do is jealousy of any kind. You know, so I feel like, you know, it's not like she was sleeping with him. She was drawing him.
Well, drawing
He
her.
or her, whatever, you
Well,
know.
her, yeah.
So for me, it's like, you know, like who gives a fuck?
Well,
You
see,
know,
I think what's weird for me is that he thinks that if she sees another girl naked, she's gay.
that she's
He's
gonna
a
leave
fucking
him
idiot.
around.
Right.
He's
That's
a fucking idiot.
and it's like I know that in his country or where he's from and in his culture,
Oh.
because he said some really weird stuff. He was like, "Oh well, at the gym, I can only work out with other men."
And,
And at
oh, and then
weddings, and
and
at
like,
weddings,
Are we sure he's not gay?
well, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, "You're only allowed to hang out with men." I was like, so you know, we could say, "Oh well, you go to the gym with men, you take showers with men because there's showers in the gym." We could say the same thing about you, but since it's normal in your country for that to happen, you know, you think it's okay. But it's like he said, even at weddings, if you go to a wedding, the men are on in one side of the building, the women are on the other side.
Okay, yeah, that is orthodox. It also happens with in the Jewish religion. So like men are on one side, women are on the other.
But they're in the same
like,
room, right?
But yeah, they're in the same room,
my God.
sure.
So, oh my God, I'm like forgetting what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. So for when I was gonna, I don't want to bash Stevie's friends like looks too bad, but it's not like she was kind of a little frumpy dumpy, so it didn't like she was all that to be jealous of. And then the other thing I was gonna say is like, as far as weddings in Iran, yeah, unless you're like some super religious nut, I'm pretty sure like y'all dance together, like both or all having a
Yeah.
party. Unless you're a fucking psycho religious nut, but when at your wedding, you're gonna
Psycho
fucking dance
religious.
with like women.
Shabooty, I
Well,
love you.
I honestly think that he's a hypocrite
Yeah.
because he was just like, well, if she is bisexual, then I can't be with her. And I was like, well, people are allowed to have any sexuality that they want. And I was like, if you're not man enough to handle that, I was like, there's plenty of men that have wives that are bisexual. There's plenty of women that have husbands or boyfriends that are bisexual, and they're okay with it. You don't have to be okay with it, but you can't tell people what they have to be. Because he's like, well, you need to tell me that you are or you're not. And I was like, well, she does need to tell you if she is, but at the same time, you know, if you thought she was or you ever had those thoughts in your head that she might be, why are you here? You know, like what would possess you to
Seriously, why?
possess
Yeah,
you
like
to leave your country for someone who you think is bisexual, which in his mind is wrong. You know, because he said it tonight. He was like, that you can't do that. It's wrong in my religion, in my culture, and in my mind, in my opinion. He said that he just doesn't believe in the LGBTQ community, which I think is insane, because why would you move to a country where not only do we have laws to protect them, but they can get married, they can live their lives freely. We are very accepting, and we make sure that people are comfortable in their own skin. Why would you want to be somewhere where around people that are going to bother you just existing? Like, it's weird to me that he would
It's
even want to
so
come to you.
fucking weird, right?
And then I tweeted about it, but like my whole response to the way he was acting was he just came across really like emotionally immature to me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think that he behaves like a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
he
like,
has so much. He has like what, a 9-year age gap between him and her. There's like a huge age gap between them too,
yeah,
and she
but
has like 2 kids.
he's still like grown. Like, it's not like he's like
Yeah.
19. Like, he's grown. He
But
definitely.
you have to remember, George, in these countries, they don't move like such as Iran and whatnot. They don't move out until they get married. So, and
That's very true too.
the men are going to be treated like mama's boys. So then they'll act very immature.
Oh, I mean,
That is
Yeah.
that is true.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, so he was probably living with his mommy up until he got there.
And so he expects
Yeah.
everything to be done for him.
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
I get that. That makes a little more sense.
True.
Because he's been like having like little temper tantrums ever since he got here. He's just like, everything that happens, he's like having a temper tantrum. And he's like, oh, there's pictures of boobs, and that, like, everything is like a problem. And it's like,
Like
Yeah.
you know in the show where there'll be people who are like either villains or they're just they're shitty on the show, and then but then like on social media you'll discover their personalities on social media and you'll say wow, like they're actually really cool in real life based on how they are on social media. But Maddie's one of those people where he's like shitty on the show and shitty on social media.
yeah, I think
He's just shitty all around.
yeah, I think he's really like that. I think he's really a stick in the mud.
Really is a stick in the mud, like
Yeah.
like in real life, like in social media, real life, he's like that.
Oh yeah. I don't think he's acting. I think this is really who he is. He's just an insufferable, intolerable human being. And he's the worst type of person too, because he's intolerable of other people and their lifestyles and what makes other people happy. Because he's like, well, you can't be bisexual, you can't do this, you can't see this, you can't eat this, and Iran, you can't. It's like he's intolerable.
You can't fuck this.
Right. And it's like, those are the worst type of people, because it's
Like
like,
Jesus.
let everybody live and let be. Like, I get that your religion is very limiting of what you can do, but that only entails what you can do. Like, telling her that she can't be part of the LGBTQ community no matter what because it's wrong, that's your opinion, right? Like, your opinion, there's people who believe it's wrong, there's people who believe it's fine, there's people who don't care either way. Like, you don't get to come over here and just tell people how they can live their lives.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, man. 100%. I mean, and I think like, if he was so fucking concerned about all this shit, why is he even there?
Why is he eating
Why
pork?
doesn't he stay in his country then, where,
Why is he eating
the
pork?
laws are different?
I know, like, that's what
I
bothers me
don't
the
get
most,
it.
is the hypocrisy. It's like, I get it, religious people, I've dealt with it my whole life, I grew up in it, like, but I don't like the hypocrisy, because he's like, oh yeah, I ate pork, and he's like, in Iran, you could never do that. And I was like, well, you get to pick and choose what you get to do against your religion, but she can't, and she's not even a part of your religion.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy if you ask me, honestly. It's insane.
I don't like him. I'm just gonna be real. I don't like him.
Oh,
I don't like him.
no, I literally have to skip through his pot. He's just like, he's so misogynistic. He's so sexist. And then, you know what? It's because how the way he was brought up, I
Yeah.
mean,
But by the way, Sherry in the chat, she says, I have to tell you something funny. When people tell me stuff now, I say, oh, like George, and I'll say true, like Shabooty. Ha ha ha. Ha. Anyway, it cracks me up and wanted to let you know how much you guys have rubbed off on me.
oh my
Ah,
God, Sherry, can I say something? I literally did that to my boss today at work. I was like, true. And they looked at me like I was fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm
like,
always saying true.
you
I'm like,
Shabooty.
same
God damn
Coco. I'm
it.
like, oh fuck, Shabooty's living in my head as well.
Oh, you son of a
yeah.
bitch.
Rent
True.
free.
Like,
I do that too. I say true a lot. I
I
do.
don't know.
True.
It's popping off. Anyway, don't make me conscious of it because then I'll stop saying
Well,
it.
yeah, don't stop saying it. Oh, but I want to also talk
No.
about I want to talk about that little tiny wedding venue that they looked at.
Oh, yes.
It looked like the outdoor patio to like a really small bar. I was really confused because I was like, where are you gonna get married at? Like there, because they're like, this is the whole venue, and the venue was like 2 tables, a bar, and then like a little patio. And I was like, so is this what people are doing now? I was like, at this point, just get married in a public park. At least you would have more room.
I think this is a good segue. And then what did you think of, well, let me give my 2 cents first, but what did you think of Greg's venue? I will say I was surprised it was only like 8,900 because it looked fancier than that.
Oh yeah, that was a very nice venue. The price did surprise me. I was expecting between 15 and 20,000 to be the price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming because it was featured on the show, that was probably a discounted rate. Because when they arrived, they showed a photo image of the name of it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming it was probably a discounted rate. But what really got to me, was Greg was like, "Oh, I'm nervous." He was driving there. He's like, "I'm nervous to see this venue because everybody, thinks I have to pay for all this stuff, and there's all this pressure." And then we get to the venue. They see the venue. They like the venue, and then his mom's like, "All right, just give me 1,000, and I'll pay the other 8,000." And I was like, "See, this is the problem." Right? Like this is the problem. He's never had to be responsible for anything. And her punishment was like, I don't want him to have the wedding at my house because he's gonna want me to do too much work. He's gonna want, he's gonna sit around and I'm gonna end up doing all the work. That's what Lucille said. So instead of her following through and making him make the wedding his problem, she goes and outsource the wedding to a venue and then pays for it. And I was like, she is the creator of her own problems. But I
Oh,
think
absolutely. She manipulates him.
the worst part of it is, though, she doesn't see the negative impact that it's having on her son. Like her son is never going to be able to be successful or be his own man as long as she continues to
Mm-hmm.
handicap him in this way. Like because she was like, give him a break. He doesn't need to be worried about a dowry. And everybody online was like, his whole life has been a break, Lucille. When is he like his literal entire life has been a break? He's literally been clocked out and laying in the bed. And every time they show their scenes, like I noticed it tonight, and I think the producers are doing this on purpose to irritate me. They show her, she's out like cleaning the chicken coop and she's like working, and then they immediately shift the camera to Greg laying in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
Now, let me ask you something, George, and this is just a thought just popped in my mind. Do you think maybe she's enabling him and doing all this because she doesn't want him to leave? She needs someone around?
Well, so that crossed my mind too, because there are those parents that they're usually divorced and the mom
Mm-hmm.
wants to keep the son or daughter, whoever, it doesn't matter who it is, there. So they make things super easy and comfortable. So
she's like the Deion Sanders of Doughboys.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I mean, she has made it so easy. She's allowed this man to move a woman into her house, marry her, pay for the wedding, and she's the one that's going to pay for the dowry. Like, let's just be honest.
Oh, for sure. I
She's
mean,
the one that's
where
going
is
to
Sure.
he
pay.
going to come up with the money?
He's not. He has no
Exactly.
interest in getting. But that's the thing. She's created this monster. He knows that he doesn't have to get a job. The way that he dresses, when he went to the interview, the way that he dressed, I was like, he's not looking for a job. Because if he really wanted to get a job, he would carry him. Every time I see Greg, it looks like he just rolled out of the bed and put on the first wrinkly thing that he found on the floor. That's literally how this man goes out in public. So there's no way in the world that he's ever gonna launch. This is a failure to launch situation forever. If Lucille leaves this world, that man is not gonna have anywhere to go. It's unfortunate. He's not going to have anywhere to go. Nobody's because Joan's not going to take care of him. Joan is not looking for a man child. She's looking for a husband. So if Lucille leaves this world, Greg is going to be under a bridge somewhere.
By the way, is baking the laziest form of cooking? Yes or no?
No, baking is harder than
No,
No.
yeah,
cooking.
baking is difficult. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it's not. It's literally a science.
Yeah, there's a lot of prep work that goes into baking. Like
Absolutely.
you have to it's a lot of work before you put the item into the oven and bake it. There's like a lot of prep work. It's
well,
very
I wish the answer was yes, so I could goof on it, but I guess I can't.
Well, you can't,
no,
Shabooty.
yeah, it's a
No.
very intricate and delicate craft because baking, if
Especially
you,
when making bread as well,
yes,
whatever he's making, but
yeah,
especially bread.
True.
it's very complex. So yeah, and you forget one ingredient in bread, and the bread will fail to rise, will fail to cook. Like, so yeah, it's very intricate in detail. So that's why I think it's even worse that Lucille has enabled him into turning into this person, because I don't think that Greg is dumb. I don't think that he is incapable. I think he's smart and capable, but she has created a person that doesn't feel the need to be successful or capable or to do anything. And she's enabled him to be this lazy person. And I don't think that there's anything keeping him from being successful other than her. And that's really unfortunate.
She's
Yeah.
created a unemployed monster that lives in the basement.
Yeah. And then she's like pissed off because Joan takes 2 showers a day. And I was like, you really should be asking your son why he sleeps all day and plays video games, and not worried about why his wife is taking a second shower. You know, like, you got to pick your battles, and the battle that you should be picking is with him, not her.
Mhm. And then did you like, I know it's not a new thing, but did you see my meme with her dressed up as Dr. Now?
Why is that like
Oh my God.
uncanny?
I was just like, oh my God, when I saw that.
It's very uncanny. I didn't realize how much she looked like Dr. Now until
It's fucking scary.
I
Mhm.
know. I was like, wow. It's very
You know
uncanny.
what? Maybe she is Dr. Now.
She could be.
That's how she can support Greg.
I was wondering that too, because I was like, how is she gonna afford almost 10 G's for this venue? I was like, what does she do? Because I know that we looked it up and she's a tax preparer, but that's not like a year-round job. And we know that she does food deliveries, but that's not like,
Hmm.
I don't think you can afford 10 G's off of food deliveries, right? Like, I don't think that she's making that type of money. She
No,
probably is
I
Dr.
don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Sherry said, what did you think of Sean saying maybe he'll marry her, or maybe immigration will come and get her? Did
Oh
y'all
my
hear that?
God.
That was a savage comment, right?
He said it as a goof, right?
Well, I mean, I guess his friend was like, when are y'all gonna get married? And Sean was like, over in a month. He was like, we'll either get married, or immigration will come and get her. And
Jesus fucking
yeah,
Christ.
and I was
I
like, that's a really, really insensitive thing to say in front of her. She was
Now,
literally right
now
there.
that they're getting rid of like 2-year-olds with cancer, yeah, that isn't
Well,
something to say.
it's right. Like,
Citizens,
they're
2-year-old
deporting.
citizens with cancer, they're
Yeah,
deported.
they're deporting American citizens, and their parents and their kids and cancer victims. Like, it's not funny. Maybe it was funny
It's
then.
not. We're living literally in Hitler times right now. I'm
I
just gonna say it.
know.
I'm just gonna say it.
mhm.
They're
Maybe.
fucking putting people who are autistic on a fucking list.
Mm.
Wait, what? Are you
You didn't
serious?
hear
I didn't
about
know
this
that.
shit with Robert F. I don't mean to get political, but with fucking RFK, he wants to document who in this country has like ADHD, autism.
But
Hint, hint. This is what they fucking did in Nazi times.
isn't that against the HIPAA privacy laws though?
Absolutely, but they're trying to change all that right now.
That's horrible.
I know it's
But
horrible.
wow, that's terrible. So yeah, maybe
Yeah.
when he told the joke when this was filmed,
Yeah,
it was
back then it wasn't as crazy
yeah, but
climate.
Yeah.
now that the joke has aged, a lot of people found that to be really insensitive, because
Oh,
they're
for
like,
sure.
that's a horrible thing to say, and then said it right in front of her too. Like, if you're gonna say something shady, can you at least say it behind people's back and not in front of them? Like, don't be hurtful to people's face.
Well, regardless, they're gonna see it on TV anyways if it's filmed.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
you know.
that's what I'm thinking. Like, and I honestly think like some people like I don't think they like when you say something like on camera, like you're not really thinking because you're just like, I don't think
Yeah, he was trying to
they
he was trying
realize.
to be funny, but he wasn't thinking about it. It was insensitive.
Yeah.
True. By the way, random question, like driving from WeHo to Sonoma, how long of a drive is that?
Darling, it's a flight
But they did it on they drove us, so I'm wondering how far it was.
from Sonoma.
No, from West Hollywood to
Okay.
Sonoma. Isn't
What?
isn't it-
Hours. It's like 6, 8 hours.
Yeah, I guess that's
That's
a
in Sonoma.
8 hours, Amberlee says, yeah.
Oh God, I'm good. I wasn't even looking.
I was checking. Oh yeah, it's six. Okay, so it's 600. I'm sorry, 405 miles. 6 hours 10 minutes.
Mm,
It's a straight shot, actually. Like,
true.
you just take the I-5 north. It's a straight shot. But it's 6 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah, that's a flight. Anything over an hour and a half for me is a flight. If we can't get there on a plane, then we're probably not going. I'm just be honest. I'm probably not going because I don't like to be in the car for like a long period of time. So yeah, I couldn't imagine. And
Mm.
why do you think they drove? Do you think that he likes to drive? Do you think that because he has money, they could have easily taken.
Listen, I'm sorry. No one is good. Maybe he's just cheap.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the producers were like, "Hey, if you drive through," which is what they did on the show. Like when you drive through San Francisco, it'd be good for some visuals.
It was very beautiful though when they drove through San
Oh
Fran.
yeah, Sonema's fucking gorgeous.
But
Mm.
that's what Google Images are for. I don't need all that. That's what Google Images are for. I don't gotta drive through there to see it. Oh, wait, it's a beautiful drive. Yeah, I think it could be. I mean, I like scenery, but I also like not driving. Let's say a car is fine, but a plane is better.
All right, you want to talk to Lana or anyone else? And I know Jenny from Toronto's here, and Lana's.
Jenny from the block.
Jenny. Wait, me driving between Philly and Pittsburgh because it's all in the same state. That's actually a drive. Pittsburgh and Philly is actually kind of far. I think I've done that before.
We hit all the 90-day people. Oh, do you want the? I'll give you a quick like Loren update. It's not like long. You want to hear?
Yeah, tell us, please.
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. And I haven't posted about this, so nobody better scoop me on my own tea.
Oh.
So he says this is a Shabooty world exclusive. If we were high production, we would play a timpani drum right now. But anyway, he says this is Loren talking. Loren, the homeless hobo. He says I might be moving back in with my ex-wife. And then I said, are you going to drive? And then my response is, are you going to drive truck in Washington? And then he says, no, I lost that job because I got my CDL license, but I failed the optional advanced training.
Oh my god.
Wait,
What the fuck?
wait, but it was optional.
Well, it wasn't optional for the job, I guess. I don't know.
So wait, he got his CDL.
He got
and
the
then,
license, but he didn't get the advanced training, which was probably required for the job. I don't know. He failed that part.
Wow. Okay.
And then the last thing he told me was, and the last thing he told me, he says, I don't want to be in Las Vegas. And then he says,
But why? It's because I'm here, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's
I don't
because
think you want to
Coco's here.
But he said
He has nothing set for him in Vegas.
Put out a Lauren needs housing post and
Oh God.
kinds of jobs again. I don't know. I don't know if he wanted me to put out a Lauren needs housing post, but yeah, that's kind of the Lauren.
He was asking you
I don't know.
to put out the
I'm not
post?
sure. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, so like, sorry, Loren, I don't have a couch.
yeah.
Well, I have couches, but I don't want him bleeding.
Okay, go
all
live
over.
with George, Loren.
No, I
Yeah.
don't want him bleeding all over my
Yeah.
couches. What do you mean?
Well, you said you're
mean,
like, I have a couch. I'm like, okay, invitation.
I like my couches to remain blood free. Thank you.
Or semen
Clean
free.
free, STD free,
Yes.
everything free.
I don't want
This will be your couch, okay? Are you ready? George, please don't do this. Don't let him in. Please, haven't I suffered enough?
No, I couldn't with Loren. Loren seems like a nice guy, but no.
Oh, come on.
Well,
You're
so
not going
did
to give a
Ted
nice guy
Bundy,
a
but
chance?
so did Ted Bundy. So let's, yeah.
That's true. That's true. There was a lot of people who thought he was a decent guy. So yeah,
It's
that's
like, oh
true.
my god, I love him. Yeah, I don't know. I just, I'm sorry, Loren, you can't stay with me. I really wish you could, but that would be a lie.
Oh, I wanted to ask. So Sean was telling some jokes tonight, and one of them was about I Love Lucy, and another one I didn't. It just went completely over my head.
Okay.
Did anybody get any of the jokes that he was telling tonight? Because obviously Aaliyah didn't, because she wasn't born until like 2 years ago. But like, did anybody get any of like the jokes? Because I didn't get any of it, and Aaliyah was like, and he kept saying like names of people from like the early Hollywood eras.
Oh, I would have known Ginger Rogers, all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking weirdo. I love that shit.
I was like, what are we talking about here? I can't remember the guy's name, but he was talking about something and he was like, blah, blah, blah. And he said the guy's name and Aaliyah's like, I don't know who that is. And then he was talking about I Love Lucy, and obviously she doesn't know who that is. And it was just interesting because they are so different. And I think the way that he was trying to do those jokes and she didn't get it and everything went over her head, it really made me realize the real age difference and age gap that they really
see,
are
that's,
trying.
and
Like,
I'll say something to that, just from experience. Like, a reason I love older men is because I do have a lot in common with them. Like, I'm a very old soul. Um, I can talk all night about silent film and all that stuff. So I think, there's something to say, you find someone who's kind of an old soul, like, doesn't matter the age gap or whatever. But if you have nothing in common and you don't know, you don't get it, it just seems weird.
That's what
I will say, because I'm like a pop, as you all know, I'm a pop culture guru. So if I'm, let's say if I was hanging out with someone and then start referencing pop culture and it all goes over their head, then a lot of my, like then all my jokes slash superpowers are lost on them. So
Well, but would you want to deal with someone or be with somebody that doesn't understand? Like, because, pop culture is like a part of our world, right? Like reality TV, whatever going on with celebrities. So, would you even want to interact with someone who doesn't have any interest in that? Like, that would be hard for me. Like, what would we talk about? Like, that would be weird.
yeah, that would have, unless they're a really fast learner, but yeah, it would annoy me because it would be talking like to a brick wall.
Well, I was gonna like even better reference. I would be like if someone's like, "Hey, want to hang out?" and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Let's hang out Sunday night at 8." And I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm watching 90 Day Fiance," and they're like, "What's 90 Day Fiance?" And then I would just immediately hang up the phone because we're not gonna get along, right? Like
No, we're not on the same
No.
level.
right. I would just be like, "Oh, what?" I wouldn't even say bye. I would just hit the hang up button. 'Cause I was like, "Well, you're not a real person, and I don't want you in my life. If you think that it's okay to be not at home in front of your TV at 8 p.m. on a Sunday, don't ever call me again because we're never gonna get along. Like there's nothing that we have in common whatsoever. Let's just end this now, and I'm gonna block you."
Yeah. If someone, poo poos or looks down on 90 Day Fiance, that's gonna be a problem.
Well, I mean, you don't have to like it, or no, you need to like it. You don't have to love it, but you got to know what it is.
Mm.
Okay, you got to know what it is, and you
You
have
got to
to.
know what's up.
Yeah, like I have friends that they don't watch it no more, or they don't watch it, but they know what it is. Like I can't, because that's how it is with Aaliyah and Sean. Like she just doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about because she doesn't know what it is because she was born like not even in the same century as you. Okay, so like I that's what's weird to me because I was like, how are they gonna ever see eye to eye on anything? He's talking about stuff that happened in the 50s. She's talking about stuff that happened 2 years ago because that's how different their generations are. So it's like
For
and whatever
sure. For sure.
a classic song to him, a classic song to her might be Britney Spears'
No,
Toxic.
honey, a classic
Okay,
song to her, it's gonna be like freaking like Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen.
right.
I'm
So it's like
sorry.
I cannot fathom how they would ever be able to make a relationship work because it's just too. It's like marrying an alien from another planet,
Mhm.
right? Like I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of how different they really are.
Yeah. But by the way, real quick, Jenny from Toronto, if you want to speak, you have speaking privileges. So feel free to unmute yourself and talk if should you want to. Anyway, sorry.
Oh no, Sherry says that's why I love all of you because none of my friends like the show and it's so awesome to be here and
No
watching
one
the.
watches reality TV with me. They're just like, we don't
Well,
care. And I'm like, damn it.
reality TV gets a bad rep, so a lot of people are
Oh, for
not
sure.
watching it anymore,
See,
and
my
I hate.
friends do know of 90 Day Fiance, but because they have kids and stuff like that, they're just not enough times, but they see enough reels to know what's going on, whether Jasmine had another baby with another man. They know what's up because they'll see it on Instagram or whatnot. And I'll always tell coworkers, I'm like, oh, you watch 90 Day, you have to tune into Shabooty's show. You have to tune in.
Jen, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Jen, how you doing?
How I'm good. Nicely lubricated with the cannabis over here.
Oh, I was about to be like, oh,
Oh,
shit.
I thought it was something else. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
lubricated.
Are you sure
No.
your name's Jen and not Stacy?
I am winding down for bedtime, so
Did you
yeah.
watch the episode yet?
No, I didn't watch it, and then I came straight here. So I'm listening to what you guys say. It sounds like maybe it's not worth watching.
I
No.
don't know. It was. I would just say it was average.
Yeah, it wasn't a Tom Cruise show. You know, like if you were out and you ordered the sushi, you're not going to get food poisoning, but it wasn't the best sushi, you know?
Got
Like,
it.
It
Is
was like
that
the old sushi.
yeah,
how
you're
come
not going to
that
get sick.
episode
Oh.
5 had to have been like the most fire, most everything, and they didn't give us that?
No.
No.
Lame. Lame.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not talking about Tell All episode 5, right? Because that's tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that is what I'm talking about. What are you talking about?
No, we're talking about season 11 tonight.
Well, you know it's got to be some good MJ when she
Tomorrow's going to be
doesn't
good.
know
We'll talk
on
about
that
that
one
later today.
episode what's going on.
Ah,
Oh.
okay, yeah. OG 90, I'm definitely not gonna watch based on what you guys said. So I will wait for the episode 5 of
Good
reunion.
job, Shabooty.
Yeah.
But
Good
the
job.
reunion tomorrow will be good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tomorrow will be crazy. Matt is gonna make his debut, and he's coming for Gino. And yeah, tomorrow's episode. And I heard that there's a lot of Jasmine backlash that's gonna happen too. I heard that some things that she does and says are people are gonna be really upset about. So there's definitely gonna be some craziness from tomorrow's episode.
Do you
Good.
believe her when she said like after the tell all it landed me in the hospital, or is that just like a sympathy ploy?
I mean, I don't believe anything she says. Like, to be really
Yeah.
honest, okay, I don't believe anything she says because she doesn't post in real time and she creates narratives and she likes people to think that she's a victim in every situation.
Mhm.
Because the reason why I say that is because she posted recently. She was like, "I'm not rich. I don't have very much money." But we know that she's making $30,000 a month on OnlyFans. So it's like, and there's all these
Yeah,
scams.
it's such bullshit. It's just like, you know what? Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't believe anything she says, but I'm not minimizing anything that she might be going through because she said that she has been getting like death threats and she doesn't feel safe. Like I heard
But
from
from what? What kind of death threats? I don't.
like messages saying like, "Oh, you should hurt yourself," or "You're a bad person," and "How can you live with yourself? The type of mother you are." You know, like I'm not minimizing that. I think that no one should ever be made to feel that their life isn't worth living. I think that there's a difference between criticizing what someone did and making them feel like hurting themselves. I think there's a huge difference. So I'm not minimizing what she might be going through, but a lot of things she's going through, you know, she put out there for an entire universe of people.
True.
You know, like she didn't have to act the way that she did on the show. She had more control over the way she was portrayed, and I don't think she fully thought it through of how this was going to make her look, right? And I think she learned the hard way, you know, that people are criticizing her and they're not okay with the way that she treated Gino and the way that things went down. And she signed up for a TV show. She put her not just her life, but her dirty laundry out there for everyone to see. And that's a really ballsy thing to do, because if you don't want people's opinion on your decisions, you don't give them the opportunity to see it.
By the way, if it's okay, it doesn't have to do with 9 Day, but Jenny, if you're still there, can we interview you about weed?
Interview me by weed.
About weed.
Oh, sure.
So you're on that indica right now or what?
I am having a very heavy hitting indica vape cartridge.
You roll your own or you get pre-rolls?
No. This is a vape pen.
A vape pen.
Oh, I used to love those.
Yeah, I used to like grind and roll all my pre-rolls together, and I would have like the pre-rolls in containers in order of strength. So like the high to medium and then sativa versus indica, all pre-rolled and ready to go in airtight containers, like expiration dates. I had it all.
And Toronto has a lot of dispensaries now or what?
Everywhere, Canada wide, right? It's
Yeah.
a federal.
Yep. Pretty
So
much. There's more than Starbucks. There's more like one on every corner. It's like a Starbucks.
Yeah, there's more than convenience stores, more than everything. It's annoying.
Oh, so you
Uh,
only vape, you don't like smoke a blunt or whatever?
no, because I can vape inside.
Mm.
So I'm just vaping on my couch, whereas like a bong is gonna be a bigger smoke, and that might get out to the other units near me. And any kind of smoking, I have to go outside, and I'm like, nah, fuck that.
And then do you do gummies?
I used to, but now gummies, they don't make them strong enough. They're like 10
They
milligrams or
don't.
whatever. I need like 50 of them to do anything.
Oh.
Oh,
It's
well,
just too
Jenny,
expensive.
if you're ever in Vancouver, let me know because I know a private delivery service.
Hell yeah.
Because you have a high tolerance, Jenny?
Yeah, honestly, my tolerance for everything's super high for some reason. Like, I'll take an opioid once, and then boom, I have a tolerance of someone who's been done it for like months. Like,
Mm.
it's super strange.
True. Yeah, I mean, I like the sleep gummies for going to sleep.
Those are really good. Find the ones that have the CBN in them.
Mhm.
CBN, THC, CBD.
Yeah, those are good. And then I like indica.
Yeah. Indica for in the couch. And then sativa is like
That's hilarious.
sativa, get out here.
Oh no, sativa fucking made me crazy.
Yeah, me too.
I literally, I was out to lunch. It was my first time, and I took a hit of the sativa. I passed out on the fucking sideway, waking up to the fucking ambulance.
Oh my God.
What?
I took one fucking hit, guys. I'm such a sensitive person.
I don't think that was weed, Coco.
No, it
It
Yeah.
could have been
was.
lace.
Yeah, it could have been laced with something. Yeah.
That's
I
so
don't know,
funny.
man. I was like fucking dead. That's all I can say.
I get it though. Being greened out is an awful, awful feeling. And it's only time can get you out.
True.
True. What else do y'all want to talk about before we end it?
Did you have another weed
Let's
question
talk
for me?
about our midlife crisis.
Oh my gosh. Or should I tell one story that I remembered today while I was walking around about the one time I got walked in on peeing?
Was
What?
it Loren?
I want to hear
God
that.
damn it!
Oh,
God!
sure, because that's going to put a smile on my face. Let's go.
Okay. So we are taking you way back to the year 2001.
Oh, take me back
Oh,
there,
I had just
please.
graduated from high school.
Oh my
So
God, I was 10 years old.
Oh, shit.
so 2001, I was in grade 9 and I was living in like a very suburban white town. But there's this one part of town in Toronto where it's Koreatown, and all the young, bad Korean kids hang out there. All the businesses are there, the restaurants are there. So I would take the municipal bus, like not even like a city bus, like a regional bus, all the way down from where I live down to the Koreatown area and hang out with my friends there. And I'm like 14, and all we can do is go to these PC bangs. And I don't know if you know what they are, but they're back in the day, they were all these gaming rooms with tons of high-tech computers. In the back, there's all these private rooms.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch DVDs, you can do karaoke, you can smoke in there, you can do whatever. They serve you food. So PC bangs were like really popular back in the day. So I was one of these bad kids, and me and all the bad kids, like the setup of this place is super grimy. Third floor of a building, very dark. The walls are just coming apart. Persian gangs run the place. Korean guys are running it. It's a whole thing. And there's one bathroom in the door, in the back, and it's a big bathroom. So when you close the door behind you, the toilet is like 8 feet away.
Mhm.
So I know this door does not have a lock. It's never had a lock. It's just everything's broken, completely broken. But there's like not that much people in there. So I'm thinking, it's gonna be fine. Like it's just my ex. So my boyfriend at the time, Phil, was there. A bunch of our friends were there, and they know I'm going to the bathroom. So it's gonna be fine. So I go in, close the door, pull down my pants, sit down, and I relax. And then I start tinkling, ting ding 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 ding. Then the door bursts open, and right away my hand reaches out like a stop motion, but nothing comes out of my mouth. So I'm silently doing a stop motion. And while he's looking at me and he's like, his face is in a stop motion, my face is in a stop motion. and all you can hear is my pee going.
Drip,
Oh,
drip, drip, drip.
It was the most awkward time ever. I was like, "Are you gonna close the fucking door?" Like, oh yeah.
so wait, did he just stop in his tracks and just stare at you?
Yeah,
So like y'all are just looking at each other now, and like no one is saying anything.
like a full 10 seconds.
Oh
It's
my
step
gosh,
five,
10
except
seconds?
Can
Because
I?
I couldn't stop peeing. I thought if I try to clench too hard, I might fart. So I was like, I'm just gonna let it pee.
And he just stood there like looking like a deer in headlights.
Exactly, because he was shocked and I was shocked, and my hands out like, stop in the name of love, like, and just continued peeing.
Can I tell you
Oh,
something? I
God.
know exactly sort of what you're feeling. Fuck it. I'll tell my
course.
story. I'll tell my story. All right, boys and girls. So this actually happened last year. Okay, so it was our anniversary. So this is before we moved to Vegas. We decided to, hey, we're gonna come here and we're just gonna have some fun, whatever. Um, so we have breakfast. We're at Resorts World, which is beautiful, one of my favorite hotels in Vegas. Beautiful property. We're like, you know what? We're gonna go there. We're gonna play horses, do some betting. That's what we enjoy gambling. It's fun for us. We decided to go to Wally's, which is like super high end, like really nice restaurant. Okay. Um, we have breakfast. It was like one of the best breakfasts I've had, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." And then Steve gave me some money to go play, the horse machine. As I am walking, I was like, we decided to go check out Fred Siegel, and I was like, oh, this is so weird. Like I'm cramping, and I was like, I don't know what happened. I literally took a huge shit of diarrhea in my pants at Fred Siegel, and I'm like, he's doing something else, and I'm like screaming his name, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I think I really just shat my pants." And he's like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I ended up like sitting down for a second because I didn't know what to do. He went to go buy me some new pants. So the only store that was open was the Fred Siegel, and like their yoga pants are like $200. So he ended up like buying me one of them.
A brown pair.
I'm sitting down at the horse, and I'm just like, okay, dear God. This is the part that gets really worse. I've never told anyone this story. Why am I telling you
I
people?
feel like you might have told us, and then you said somebody else sat in your shit.
Yes. Oh my God, I did? Okay. So like literally I sat down. I get up, he has the pants, and and of course the closest bathroom to us was like completely like occupied, so I couldn't use it. And as I get up, I go to the bathroom, whenever I come back, and he's like, "You're not gonna believe what happened." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You left a fucking skin. You left a stain on the fucking chair, and some guy sat on it, and he's been sitting on it, and like, and the guy, like, 'cause he was like so close to where the guy was, he's like, "Do you smell something?"
No way.
Savage.
I was so embarrassed. I was like, it was the fucking coffee. Like, it was the fucking coffee was so strong. I literally shat myself.
Yeah, Jenny, you're a piker compared to Coco.
No, I've also shat myself at Niagara Falls.
Oh, don't tell
What?
Oh,
me.
God.
I don't want to be turned off to the Jenny fantasy.
Well, you rather me shit on you? I mean, what?
Oh my gosh. No, I also had like a very unexpected diarrhea experience when I was at the guest services bathroom at the Niagara Falls on the Canada side, which is much nicer.
Yes.
You shit in the barrel.
Yeah, no. I was in the bathroom realizing what happened, and then I just took off like my shorts and my underwear, washed it, and I was hand drying it under the hand dryer. Just
Wait,
a
is this
bottomless girl.
is this like a public bathroom, like where other people
Yeah.
someone could have walked in while you were doing this?
People were walking in and out doing this.
While you were like bottomless in the bathroom?
Yeah, just in the corner and in the hand dryer, just drying the shit out of my shorts and my underwear. So hopefully no one noticed.
It'll probably smell like hot shit.
What?
I had no alternative clothing. I had nothing. And we had like a full day of like plans of going in the maid at the bed.
No.
This and that. And I was like, no. If I get caught, my dad's gonna beat my ass. I gotta clean the shit up. So that's what I did.
Literally, you clean the shit up. Literally.
How long?
Literally.
I'll say.
Right.
I'm curious. How long does it take to air dry like clothing with a hand dryer?
Hours.
It was for me it was like a pair of like cotton like Old Navy shorts and like a bikini bottom, and the total thing was maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, I was thinking it would take long. Okay, so did anyone question why you were in the bathroom for so long?
Everybody could see exactly what I was doing, so nobody said anything. It's very
Oh.
Canadian of us. We just don't say anything.
But so
No,
did your
no
dad find out?
judgments.
Nobody knew. It was my my secret until now.
Oh.
That's
Girl,
crazy.
I mean, you piss, I shit. It's great.
We keep it in the fam.
I mean, like, and every time we go to Resorts World, like, it's like we literally go there a lot. Like, he
So
literally
wait,
would be
you
like,
you returned to the scene of the crime?
like the slots there, okay? They have
I
good
am surprised.
gaming.
I feel like if this
And he
happened to
always
me,
jokes. He goes, they probably fucking have your face pictured in some fucking basement because the look you gave, like, they know you shit your pants.
yo, I feel like if that happened to me, I would never be able to go back to the place. So the fact that you go back regularly is crazy because I'll be like, I would never go back. You know how they say you never go back to the scene of the crime? Like if I was so embarrassed.
Dude, he was like, he's like, literally, they're probably like, oh my God, that's the girl who shit her pants last year. like, I'm like, you know
Well,
what?
you
Okay.
know, there's like a million cameras in every angle, so you
I
know
know,
somebody
of course.
knows that you did.
Yeah,
Somebody.
I know. That's what he says to me. And he's like, they know who you are. They probably have your picture, somewhere as the girl who the shitter. He's like, they nicknamed you probably the shitter. So I'm like, okay, well, first of all, it was like, I mean, I'm just saying, don't drink too much strong coffee.
I don't have any shitting stories, but I know a Robin Quivers shitting story. If you want me to tell you,
Whoa. This has turned
Wait.
into a scat show.
What? Robin Quivers?
yeah, you know who that is, right?
I do know who that is.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
to the House Show. She has a famous shitting story, and I hopefully I don't know if I'm gonna do it justice or not because it's off the top of my head. But her shitting story was, it was like a hot summer day, and she was gonna go out for a jog, and then so she's out running in the hot heat, and long story long, she started having like diarrhea as she was jogging, and then she started shitting her pants as she's running, and then it starts like dribbling down her leg.
Oh.
Shit all down her leg, and she's like not close to her house because she's been jogging for a while, and then so she's like running around, there's like shit going down her leg, and then she sees this guy like a like a landscaper type guy. So she finds like I don't know if he's Mexican, but she finds like a Mexican guy, and then she like goes up to him, is like, hey, like shit my pants, anything you could do to help me? And then he's like, yeah, I could like I'll hose you down. So she like trow, and he like takes the hose and starts like washing her asshole with the hose.
Oh my God.
So he washes her down
Fucking
with the hose.
what?
And
That's
then
crazy.
and then I guess she just like lifts up her pants back, and then she runs back home and doesn't tell a soul until she can get on the air and tell the world.
She told this story on the air. Good God.
Yeah. So that's her shitting story.
Wow, Shabooty, that's yeah. That's a story.
Everyone's got one,
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, because that's what I want to do. Have a stranger like literally just like hose down my asshole. That's I
What a
charge extra for
luxury.
that.
That is a luxurious experience. That is a hammam.
And this is where George gets his bidet.
Yes.
I-
I am a big fan of a bidet.
I love
I
bidets.
I have bidets in every bathroom.
Oh my god, I love it. I love them.
Jenny, you don't have a shit-filled sex story? I'm surprised.
A shit
I one
filled.
time went down on a man and I vomited on him.
Oh,
What?
And then he wanted me to continue.
What?
Listen, I have
Was
some
it-
fucking crazy stories. Like, don't even. I actually have some crazy ass stories.
But okay,
Coco, was it chunky?
Yeah, because I remember I had just drank like 2 shots of tequila, and I ate tacos.
Ooh.
whoa.
Yeah.
Did you vomit because of
Yeah,
him?
because I have a horrible gag reflex.
He was large.
No, I was just like, and also like I just vomited all over.
No, but sometimes when that dick smells bad, what
Yeah.
a big like whiff in your nose, and you're like, "Ugh."
Yeah, you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's because Jenny's been with a lot of uncut men.
I've been
What?
with
Yeah.
my share of weird men.
Mm.
Only Toronto's finest.
Oh, remember the
But
one you talked about, the guy with the parrot? That was a good story.
Jenny,
got
do you go in the CN Tower a lot?
Oh my God, no. I've been up the CN Tower once or twice in my life, probably with like a school field trip.
Mm-hmm.
And like my very first boyfriend took me to the dinner where you spin around. And
The
I did
revolving restaurant.
yeah, the food's terrible. And then I did the outdoor walk when it opened a couple years ago as a part of a work PR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we have a revolving restaurant, like kind of the same thing as the CN Tower here. The food sucks too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then do you go to the Blue Jays Stadium a lot?
I live like a 5-minute walk away, so I can hear it. And my best friend lives above the stadium, so she can see it. So we should just FaceTime and I can watch it from her place.
So you're like in the middle of the city then, right?
Oh yeah, I'm smack downtown.
Oh, damn, I definitely need to visit sometime.
You def need to visit. I got
During
every
playoff season, Toronto's leading.
True.
Wait, what sport? I'm sorry, what sport is this?
Hockey.
Oh, okay, hockey. Because I was like, I don't know what Toronto team it is. Y'all know I'm not sportsly updated with that stuff.
the Maple Leafs there.
Well, George, are you excited that Shedeur Sanders is going to Cleveland?
I don't even know. I don't know who that is. Should I be excited? Are we talking the Browns or the Cavaliers? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do you know who Deion Sanders is?
I do know who Deion Sanders is. He's a football player.
Yeah, so his son, not to turn this into a sports show, but there was a big controversy in the NFL draft where his son was supposed to go in like the first round, but then because he's like a super confident black man, the owners kind of like colluded to not draft him immediately. So he ultimately got drafted in like the 4th or 5th round, I don't remember. And then the Cleveland Browns drafted him as a quarterback, his Deion Sanders' son.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry that he got drafted by the Browns. Because that just means his career is gonna have a really rough start.
Yeah,
it's not impossible, but like you don't want to start at the Browns. So that's unfortunate. You know, I lived in Cleveland for a long time, and I was never one of those delusional Cleveland Browns fans that went out to the games in the 10-degree snow blizzard and thought that they were gonna win.
Mhm.
I wasn't one of those people. I knew that they weren't going to win, and I did not go to the game in the 5-degree blizzard. I didn't do that stuff.
You weren't in the dog pound, as they say.
I was not. No, I think that I probably went to the Brown Stadium like 4 or 5 times total. Like the whole time I lived there, I probably been to hundreds of Cavaliers games. Like I was more into the basketball aspect of the Cleveland area than the football. The football team was just such a huge letdown for me. And it's like, since I wasn't a born native of the city, I wasn't one of those people that was just like down for them no matter what, because I was like, y'all need to bring home one of those trophies. I'm not going to keep like showing up and paying money to watch y'all lose every day. Like, I ain't doing that.
Have you gone to a Magic game yet?
I have gone, and you know, I enjoyed it. I have a good time at the Magic games, and I mean, it's not the same as Cleveland. I was more invested in Cleveland or whatever, but yeah, I have done the Magic games, and they have like a G League basketball team here, and I've been to a few of their games as well. I can't remember what you call them now, but Orlando it's a little different vibe for their sports here. It's a little different. It's not as crazy as it was up north. Like there were some die-harders there. It's not as crazy here.
True.
When you say Cleveland Brown, all I can think about is Family Guy.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's how I am with sports. Like sports is so not on my radar. So like when y'all were talking about hockey, it's funny because when you said Maple Leafs, I actually have heard of the Maple Leafs. Funny story, I don't remember where I was. I was at a hotel and I was in the lobby, and I remember Megan Trainor was also at our hotel. So we were in the lobby.
Oh, wow.
And Megan came and she left and she went to I don't remember what she was doing. And while we were waiting in the lobby, a bus pulled up, and it was like a whole bunch of dudes with like big bags. And I was like, who are these people? And somebody's like, oh my God, that's the Maple Leafs or whatever. That's the Maple Leafs. And everyone's freaking out, and people are getting pucks signed, and everyone's freaking out. And I'm just like, what do they do? Like, what sport is it? And then I saw like the hockey sticks hanging out of their bags, and I was like, oh, this is like a big deal. These are like, because people were like freaking out. Little kids were like screaming, and grown adult men were like getting puck signed. And I was like, oh, this is like a whole thing. So, and I was like, and that's when I realized hockey was like a huge deal. And I wasn't in Canada. I don't remember where I was, but I'm pretty sure I think I was in Memphis or Nashville. I don't remember where I was. It was a random place because I was like, why are they here? And they're like, they play here. And I was like,
They play there.
yeah, I was just like, I'm so confused. I was like, what is happening right now?
Well, because right now the two teams that are in the finals are two Canadian teams for the first time.
Wow.
Also, it's Canada against Canada right now.
Yeah, for the Stanley Cup.
Who's in it?
Either way, you guys get a Stanley Cup, though, right? So that's good.
Well, most of all of the players in the States as well are all Canadian anyways. So,
Exactly. We win anyway.
Y'all aren't leaving any room for any other places to win anything, though, because I feel like Canadians are so good at hockey. Like we don't have any chance of ever winning that from y'all. Like y'all are always gonna have that.
Like what are the two teams in the finals?
Usually Canada and the US.
No, but I mean, you said
right now,
right now.
the Toronto Leafs and the Ottawa Senators.
Okay.
Oh, I've never heard of either one of those. So y'all have more.
There are other teams still playing.
Oh, so y'all have more teams than I just thought y'all had the Maple Leafs.
No.
No.
Okay, I see. I told y'all I don't know this stuff. I don't know this.
There's like Winnipeg that's still in it.
Yeah, oh wait,
I know
the Winnipeg Jets. I've heard of the Winnipeg Jets because they also were at a hotel I was at one time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, I remember I was at a restaurant at the hotel and they were eating at the hotel, and I asked who they were, and they said they played for the Winnipeg Jets. I do remember that.
The fact that George has no like sports knowledge,
it's amazing.
I feel like I can lay the claim as like the person that has the most 90 Day Fiancé and sports knowledge combined.
For sure. I have no sports knowledge. Zero.
Yeah, I don't know anything. Like I know I've heard and seen things, but I don't know what you're talking about. Like usually I don't know. Like if you ask me who played in the Super Bowl this past February, I don't know. I know that Kendrick Lamar did, right? I'm pretty sure he played, but that's all that I really know. I don't know.
You know, Benny was at the halftime. That's all you know.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. So
Sherry in the comments says, "Have you heard of the Vancouver Canucks?" We're not even going to talk about that because that's where I'm from.
I've never heard of them.
They didn't even qualify, so we're not even going to.
So they were never staying at a hotel that I was at. So no, I've never heard of them.
Well, no, we did pretty well last year, but not so much this year.
Which team is this? The Canucks?
Yeah.
What is the Canucks?
Yeah, sorry for you.
It's on them.
Canuck is a Canadian.
It's a very established relationship, the Vancouver Canucks and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, I need that story, Jenny.
But wait, I have a question. Jenny, have you ever dated a hockey player?
Not a hockey player.
Oh, but there's another type of
I
player.
think she dated a basketball player.
I
Basketball.
did.
Really?
I told you guys about this,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, you told us, I think.
Oh, you did. Okay, cool. I was just wondering because I know that in Canada, that's like hockey's like your basketball there, right? Like it's the most important sport, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my God. I would not like, so there's a few jobs that I definitely don't date, and professional athlete is one of them.
Oh, fucking hell yeah. They're fucking
Wait, so
crazy.
you would never date a professional athlete,
Nope.
no matter the
No,
sport?
I did once, never again. Thank you very much.
Nope.
Jenny, what about podcaster?
Oh.
Oh.
Depending on the success.
Okay, so
Oh.
George, we
Oh.
gotta stay on our grind, George.
Yeah, we need to land some more brand deals, obviously, because you
Yeah,
know it matters who's sponsoring you, I guess.
yeah.
You guys should get on that BetterHelp and all those other kinds of, you know.
What is? I thought BetterHelp was like a mental health app.
It is, and they sponsor a lot of podcasts, and this kind of lines up. Like after you listen to
Wait, they
people talk about
do?
90 Day, yeah, you might want to get a therapist.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't think of that. Okay, I don't. Okay, I can look into that. I can see if we can't get some advertising with them.
true. Well, you're going to be one of our contributors, Jenny, so we'll give you a BetterHelp free subscription. I'm kidding.
I'm actually already on BetterHelp. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah, that is an amazing app. Actually, it's
Mm.
one of the apps that has a purpose. It's there to help people. It's a good app.
True. Well, we shouldn't give them. We shouldn't give them.
No, yeah, no
Free
free.
advertisement.
No.
Yeah, this is
If-
non-spawn.
If they want any more talk, they'll have to pay.
Yeah.
True. And yeah, and TLC, if you want, the next boat trip, I know Matt Sharp is dying to meet us, so let us know. We'll play nice.
They do watch everything and listen to everything. They might as well just meet us in person, right?
Yeah.
I promise I'll behave and I won't screw anyone over 80.
Well,
Actually, no, I
Keep one
don't
for
promise.
the team, Coco. Come
Okay, well-
on.
Okay, only if
yeah,
it's a threesome.
I'll
you
split
might
with
have
you.
No, bitch, they're mine.
you might have to bang up a producer or somebody, and they might.
As long as they're born 1951, I'm good.
Oh well, what they might not be that old. All of them aren't that old.
Oh, never mind.
You know
Sometimes-
what? I'm just gonna go to TLC and get a job and become a producer on this show, and then I'll take us on a boat party.
Okay, yeah, just like
Okay, that
yeah.
works.
Yeah, that's a surefire plan as well. Instead of waiting around for them to acknowledge our presence, we can just insert ourselves, I
Yeah.
guess.
Isn't that what like foreign adversaries do? Like they get people like jobs at like, Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
It's like a mole, a plant.
Yeah, it's a strategic placement.
Mhm.
So they can use them at a later date. So yeah, we need to get someone that is applying and we'll place them where we need them, and then they'll be our mole and then place us as the number one invited person on all the boat parties.
I love it.
Yeah.
True. All right. Anything else you want to say before we end it?
Mm.
Oh, so we didn't see Mina and Mark. I don't think I mentioned that.
Right.
They weren't on tonight. So I know I said that we didn't get the throuple, Jessica won and Megan, but yeah, Mina and Mark were not on this week either. For some reason I didn't even notice, which was really weird.
I only noticed towards the end because when they showed the next episode.
Yeah, that's when I
previews for the
noticed
next
it too.
episode.
And I was like,
I'm like, oh snap!
It
The
was
old
weird.
ladies knitting.
In the end, the preview was weird when the old lady started crying more than Mina.
yeah,
That was
it was
actually
weird.
kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Mm-hmm. But she was, yeah, I don't know. It was a little over the top because Mina was probably just regurgitating what the producers wanted her to say. And next thing you know, the old lady's like crying harder than Mina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was weird. Sarper and Shekinah having a fight. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I don't know. We're not convinced that
Mhm.
they're really having a real fight. We're not really convinced. But
I mean, it could all be an act for the camera, but It'd be a really fucked up act for the camera.
Well, yeah, because this is behavior that he's shown in the past. So like you shouldn't play around with that. Like if there is like that type of behavior, it's not funny, it's not a joke, it's not entertainment, you know.
No.
Yeah, because well, didn't like the other week, a few days ago, Shekinah on Instagram, she was like, "I told you all before y'all judge Sarper, and now look at you all. You all love him, adore him. See, I told you shouldn't have been quick to judge him."
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, then
that.
why the fuck are you still with him?
Well, no, she was saying that he's a good guy.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she
I
saying
was
was saying
like, what
that
the
he's a
fuck?
good
That
guy.
makes no sense.
She was basically like, yeah, that season everyone thought he was mean and angry and aggressive and abusive. She's like, now look at him, and then next thing we know, they're screaming at each other, and during the fight, he was like, "F you" and "shut up," but he's always talked to her crazy, like
Yeah.
it's not surprising. It's wrong. It's totally wrong, but it's not surprising because that's literally how he talked to her right in front of her sister. Like he really doesn't care.
Mhm.
No, I mean, so I
True.
don't even know.
Okay, anyway, it's almost 20 minutes to 1, so we should probably end it.
Yeah, it wasn't a Tom Cruise show tonight, guys.
None
I'm
of them
surprised
have been.
we made it this far. But tomorrow's gonna be a
Oh
Tom
yeah.
Cruise show. Get your drinks, get your snacks, and watch this tell all. Matt is making his appearance tomorrow. Be ready. He's calling Gino names. It's getting crazy, and hopefully they show the fight that happened with the cake. I don't know if they will, but we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Hmm.
Yeah. Jenny, I sent you that link on Instagram. They deliver in Canada.
True. And yeah, hopefully we'll do a podcast tomorrow night as well.
All right, guys.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
George,
you.
Coco, Gina, Jenny, and shout out to Lana. We'll try to talk to you tomorrow, hopefully, because it's getting late. And I think that's it.
Good
That's
night.
it. Peace out, everybody.
All right.
Good
Peace
night,
out.
guys.
Try to get this episode up probably tomorrow sometime. But thank you everyone for listening and for another episode of 90 Day Fiance Fridays on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Peace.